Welcome, friends. I'm hoping that you had a chance to look at the Picasso PowerPoint that talked about Picasso's roosters and cubism. So today, since we had a chance to look at that, we're going to start our own rooster. Since we are in the Fairly Silly Tales unit, where there's lots of fairy tales and stories out there about roosters, so we're going to make a funny, silly kind of rooster today. All right, so let's get our paper started. And what we're going to do is we're going to go with a U shape, an upside down U shape. Now I'm near the middle and I'm kind of high on my paper, so I'm going to put a little line where I don't want to go past, because up there is going to be the top of my rooster. So I can start just below that line that I've made, and I'll make it a little darker so you can kind of see that. I'm just going to make an upside down U, and it's going to be fairly big. This is going to be his head. Okay, so I'm just going to draw that. Now next, I want you to think about what a bowling pin looks like. We're going to curve in and curve out, and do the same thing here. Curve in and curve out. Okay, so just watch. We're going to curve in. We're making the neck of that bowling pin. So we're curving in, curving out, and just coming down. And you can make that as wide as you want to make it. Curving in and curving out. Okay, so there we have the rooster body. We're letting it run off the page today. Let's make that part that goes above his head. That's called the comb. So you can start anywhere you want. You can kind of make that kind of a crazy looking hairdo if you want to. Let's take that all the way back. Okay, now that looks pretty crazy. So next we need to figure out where we're going to put the beak, and also the wattle. This is called the wattle. Kind of goes from its eye down to its neck. Okay, so we're going to start just below the comb, the crazy hair, and we're going to come down, and we're going to come out. We're going to come back in, and we're going to almost make that bowling pin shape again. Okay, so we're just sticking it out outside the head a little bit. Okay, and we're going to put a circle in there for the eye, and we're going to attach our beak, whatever that looks like for you. You put a little line in between. Okay, now if you want to get rid of any extra marks, you can do that. And then we're ready for color. Okay, so if we take a look back at this rooster, we used some yellow, some oranges, some browns, some reds, and lots of red for our comb, and lots of red here for our wattle. So let's get started. We're going to use short little lines of color. Okay, and I'm going to start with my yellows, and I have kind of like a yellow-green, just a regular yellow, and something that's a little bit like a yellow-orange. So you can start with anything that you like with those yellows. We're just going to do short little strokes, just like this. And we're not coloring the whole thing in. We're leaving some white marks because we're going to add our other colors. Okay, so I'm just going all the way down and coming all the way up. And it's almost as though I'm scribbling back and forth a little bit. Just getting that colored in a little bit. Okay, I can move that one to the side. Try another yellow. Something a little brighter, perhaps. Doing the same thing, little bits of color, little strokes. Okay, and then you can add a little more yellow if you have some other shades or tints of yellow. If not, go and grab yourself some orange. We're going to add some orange in there. Little lines of color, just all around. And this is going to give us some texture. It's going to make it look like he's got some feathers, some different colors in his feathers. Okay, it's going to make it look a little bit rough and maybe fluffy. Okay, and then we can go in with another orange, something that's a little more reddish, or we can go right in with a red if we choose. And again, you're just doing those little short bursts of lines here, giving them some feathery sort of look. Doesn't have to be neat and nice. It could be kind of crazy. Okay, so let's add some browns in there. If you have a different range of browns, you have some dark ones, some light ones, some kind of more reddish brown, that's great. You can use any of those or all of them or just one of them. I'm just going to outline him a little bit with this, even up here and around his back. Just going to add some more of those lines. Okay, trying to fill in just to fill in those little kind of white spaces that are left. Okay, and I think he looks pretty good. So then I can go in and start coloring his comb, his wattle, his beak, and his eye. Now, one thing about the eyes, I want to leave a little bit of a white spot. So I'm going to go in there and do that right now. And I just go around and I circle around until I leave a white spot. Okay, that's like where the light hits the eye. We all have a little white spot. All right, so then I can get my red. Now there's a couple different reds that you'll find in your crayons. Sometimes there's a violet red. We want to try to go toward a red. If you like the violet red, you can certainly use that. Okay, and we're just going to outline and color. Pretty easy step. Okay, so you get that all colored in. I'm ready for the wattle. So we're going to slow down a little bit. We're going to outline again. And we're going to go really kind of slow. We're still pressing hard, getting that nice dark color in there, filling in our shape. Slow down when I get toward the edge, color in a little bit faster as it gets a little bit bigger. Okay, so your beak, you can choose your color. You can do an orange, a yellow, even a brown, or you can add a combination of all of those. I'm going to add some brown into mine. Just give them kind of a little bit of a different color. Now, when you're finished with that, I want you to think back and maybe even look at Mr. Picasso's roosters and think about kind of what you want to do with your background. Now, there's lots of different things we could do. We could maybe make some clouds, make a nice blue sky, add different colors if we wanted to, draw a tree, draw the land. Anything that you can think of that you want to do is really, really up to you. I don't want to go ahead and do that because I want you to be really creative and think of your own sort of thing that you want to do. So take a moment, maybe look back over your PowerPoint, look at those Picassos, get inspired, and go for it. And I will see you guys next time.